with our common sense theology. Hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law. You know, sometimes people want to get into the letter of the law. Oh, they broke the law. Well, let's give them everything, you know. There's a spirit of the law also. I want to take you back to the Andy Griffith show. Use this as a sermon illustration this past weekend. And Andy and Opie are having a little conversation, and of course Andy parks the car in front of the jailhouse, and Opie and some of his friends think it'd be funny to push it up in front of a fire plug. Well, that's against the law. And of course Barney sees it, and he wants to come in and give Andy a ticket and everything else, and there's a courthouse scene that's pretty hilarious and all that. But later on, Andy comes out and he's thinking, I know I didn't park that in front of the fire plug. I'm just trying to figure out how in the world did this happen. Opie had promised he wouldn't tell and tattletale on his friends. But he says, Paul, I know how it got there. He said, me and my friends, we pushed it there. But I told him I wouldn't tell. And then after a minute, Andy, wait a minute, you said you promised you wouldn't tell. You shouldn't break a promise like that. If you promise not to tell, then you're supposed to keep that amongst yourselves. He's trying to teach him a great truth, you know, to keep confidence, which is a good thing. But later on, there is something that Opie really should be telling Andy, and he is taking the lesson truly to heart. Well, Andy uses this little story to help. He says, Opie, let's say we were walking by a lake, and there's a sign there that says, no swimming. He said, that's a law, that's a rule, you're not supposed to swim. But we look out into the lake, and there's a little boy out there, and he's drowning. Should we follow the letter of the law and not swim, because that is the law, that's what it says? Or should we break or bend that rule a little bit and go save the little boy? Well, of course you should save the little boy. Why? Because people count. The letter of the law sometimes is not the most important thing. We need to understand the spirit of the law. There, thou shalt not swim. Well, you know, you got to save somebody, you save them. That's the spirit means to do that. The letter of the law, no, we'll just walk on by and let the little fellow drown. We have got to remember, people matter. God, again, talks about the big things. We have got to get back on track